actually about spiritual possibilities. And I want to talk a bit about the possibility to live completely in the flow, be supported by the universe in every moment, feel your angels and your guides around you in every moment. And it's like you no longer stopping that flow with your mind. So that's the kind of thinking and analyzing is always a bit behind the actual reality that we're in. And through being in your heart and deeply feeling your true self, it's like that split gets healed. I want to say, our stories, our life stories are important, and I'll talk a bit about my own life story as well. And I also want to say, like, we're gonna go to the deeper layer that's kind of beyond that story as well. So those two levels are both important, and the story and beyond the mind. And when we don't resist this moment, we can just flow between those two from our heart, and then it's like nothing is opposing you, nothing is against you, which it kind of can look like from the point of view of emotions that go up and down all the time. So those ups and downs are like, let's say, the inner battle, which we're going beyond in the new paradigm. So I've said I want to start really simple, and so sometimes I use 3 steps to explain this process. 3 simple steps, like make it simpler to understand. And it's a circle. It's a circle, and in that circle is expanding, breathing, and expressing. Yeah. So expanding is expanding your heart, expanding your consciousness, a bigger point of view. Well, when you expand, you start to connect to your wounds. Okay, you start to connect to deep feelings. So that's where breathing comes in. Breathing through them, allowing them, connecting with your inner child, which Jackie just mentioned as well, and making that connection. And when we're in that, we're connecting deeper, that's a time when we also start to express. And I do these healing circles, and sometimes people express in words, and sometimes they express in song, for example. There's so many ways. And some people express in dance, they start moving. So it's not limited. There are many, many possibilities for our expression. So I'll talk a bit about our light family as well. Archangel Michiel, other archangels, angels, ascended masters, Buddha, Krishna, Jesus, Sananda, they're all around us. We're not limited to just the ones from one religion, right? But it's like opening up. Whatever your religion is, or no religion, it's like when you open up, you start to feel these presences, these beings that are always around us. So Archangel Michiel is one I work with a lot. And it's like a very gentle energy to just guide you in your own heart, into your own heart. So the messages that I get are not so much about should I go left, should I go right. It's more when you connect to your own heart, you start to see that direction, which is in alignment with your life purpose. So that's what I'm talking about tonight, about that deep heart connection, which when it deepens, it's like you start to find that, which makes your heart sing, which you want to share with others. Everyone shares it in their own way. Like I do sometimes channeling or sound healing through my voice, or just speak. But there are a million ways. There are infinite ways, right? And the more people share freely and from their heart, the more this message spreads over the world to more and more people. So that sharing in the new paradigm is different from, the traditional kind of finding your guru or someone who just, tells you everything you do. It's more, you start to connect with your truth, with your true self, and from there you start to share very, very naturally. So that's what we want to connect with tonight, and we're going to do that through the cards, through guided meditation, through channeling. We're going to do all sorts of different ways, and this part is just a bit of explaining to give us a bit of grounding before we start with the rest. A few people asked me about the Pleiades as well, and Lemuria, so I'll just explain what they are actually before anything else. So let's start from the beginning. Like, what are angels, archangels? They're beings in a different dimension that don't have human bodies like us, but are divine messengers, bringing us messages of love and healing. And the archangels, like Archangel Michiel, are overseers. Now those beings are slightly different from the ascended beings that guide us, like Buddha, Krishna, that were once on earth, but they are now in a higher dimension to guide us. Now the Pleiades, Pleiadian beings are a bit like that. They also guide us. And they can feel like angels. They all feel like intimate family. Lemurians as well. So Lemuria is an ancient civilization. This is our book from the Lemurian Star Child Oracle. It's a prototype from the card deck, and it's an ancient civilization and continent that's pristine energy, a bit like you could call it like Eden, for example. Pleiades, cosmic energy from different star systems. The universe, is so vast. There are so many beings, more than what we see on television. And the Pleiadians, I connect with them telepathically. So they have a message of love and light for us. And that brings me to myself as well, my own story. Because I've always felt different in my life. And it's only 4 years ago that I actually, found out, I'm actually from a different planet. So being different, it's not as easy growing up, especially in the Netherlands, because people have an expectation that you're gonna fit into certain things, and I couldn't really understand my spiritual sensitivity, if that makes sense, and I had deep wounds as well that I needed to heal through emotional work. When I connected to spiritual truth, those wounds became even more sort of imminent, like in my face, because it's like I was connecting to my true self, so everything that was a shadow kind of came up with a very great kind of force. So I did a lot of clearing of old energies. That's what we're going to do a little bit tonight as well. clearing old energies. I was in.
Sorry, was that with help, or did you know how to clear anyway?
With help. Yes, yes. I went to spiritual circles for a while. Yeah, and for a while, you know, I was in these circles, but they were still traditional. Okay, I still had to follow certain rules, even if they were spiritual rules. Stick with certain ideas about consciousness, about love, definitions. So still hanging on to that. And it took me a while to question that and find like an open space that's beyond these strict kind of traditional rules. You know, if we go back for a second to this, for example, to this circle, you know, I was expanding my consciousness, right? I did a little bit of breathing, okay, but I couldn't express myself. So I couldn't complete that circle yet, right? So I couldn't move forward at that point in the Netherlands. And actually found out that expressing is the key for me to complete that circle. You know, that they're all three equally important. So the traditions didn't tell me that. You know, I had to go through my own journey to really find that out on a deep sort of personal level as well, on a deep heart level. So that's what I want to express today and share today about that full circle and ways to really live from the heart. So I want to start with a little guided meditation, and if you like, you know, you can just close your eyes if you like, and connect to your own heart, feel your own heart, and just feel if the actual sensation, if you can allow it to expand, allow expansion. See if you can allow whatever sensation is in your chest, in your heart area, to widen, to become bigger. So that sensation is like a symbol for your truth. That sensation, whatever it is, if you don't judge it, if you don't judge what's in your heart, you are diving into it. You know, and maybe it hurts at first. Maybe you encounter a place of deep pain, you know. That could be, or maybe you feel a place of deep love. Just know that everything's possible, because we're talking about spiritual possibilities. Maybe that sensation can be bigger than your actual heart. Feel into that possibility, you know. If you've been kind of told that the sensation can't be bigger than your body, then it can't, but we're opening up to spiritual possibilities. So we're going to see how big your heart can be. And you can allow your breath as well. Allow it as a tool to breathe in light. And through that breath and that feeling of being in your heart, it starts to grow. It starts to widen. You feel more and more of yourself. Your true self. You know, like, my message is that we are love. We are the truth. There's no difference. So this guided meditation only leads you into your own true self, your potential and your love that is within you. So the more you breathe, the deeper you breathe, the more your heart also expands. Allow it to be as big as the whole room here, for example, if you can. See how much it can grow. See if it can go beyond the room even, if it does. Bigger than your mind might tell you that feeling can be. Allow it to expand. And when you feel the heart expansion, you might also see a color or a vision or a word that symbolizes your truth and what your divine purpose or mission is here on earth. Allow that to emerge. It could be just a vague notion, or it could be really clear. To whatever clarity you see that, to whatever clarity you feel that truth in yourself, really allow it to emerge beyond any preconception. It could be anything. Your heart flow, the place your joy leads you, doesn't need to be spiritual or in a spiritual framework or category. It could be anything that makes you happy. But your heart is leading you somewhere, wanting to show you your next step. Allow it to emerge and receive channeled words that will come in now from Archangel Michiel. I am Archangel Michiel. There's nothing in your way now to expanding further. Would you like to follow me in this meditation of love and light, of being, that leads to a new way of doing everything? Everything that you've learned has been a stepping stone on your path, has been important for that time. Can you open up now to something that your heart would like to show you? It is not an intrusive thing, it's not something that is an obligation. It is not. It is spontaneous. It is given freely, without any expectation of you. There's no pressure. There's only love. This love in your heart flow is already showing you many things. Perhaps you're shown symbols and signs or words in dreams. Perhaps you're shown images in meditations. Perhaps you're finding a feather on the floor, or you're finding another symbol when you go out for a walk. For example, there are so many possibilities that lead you into this divine connection, and it is all meant not to tell you what to do, but to open up your heart, to open doors, to open possibilities, to access your path of light. As a child, you always knew your path of light, and you might have seen it many times after that. It might have developed as well. Every time you access this energy, you access this space, this love, it grows. Because whatever you decide to put your attention on grows, dear ones, becomes bigger. You only need to put a little energy in it for it to become extremely ignited in your heart. This is my message for this moment for you. This is what you are tuning into yourself as well. Your divine mission, but it is not something that is pass or fail. It is a different kind of mission. It is a mission of love. It doesn't have any expectation. It doesn't have to have a specific outcome. It is a new kind of mission. A mission of the new paradigm that is completely spontaneous, that is completely free, completely empowered as well. In your mastery. It is not a mission that is given to you by someone else. It comes from within your own heart. It is not a mission that puts a pressure on you, certain goals that you need to achieve. No, it is a mission in every moment of your heart. It is a mission that is free of any rules of the old paradigm. It is free of any need to be normal, to follow certain rules. It is a mission that is free, but nevertheless is very much in the forefront for you at this moment. Because these times are times of choices, times of choosing what you stand for, choosing what you would like to share with others, choosing on a very deep level what you are about, what makes your heart sing, what is your joy, and then not covering that up because it might seem strange to others. Not always having to talk, go along talking about normal things, about small things, but expressing that which is big inside your heart, which is bold. You're sharing. These are times of not holding this back. Dear ones, this message is given to you in love through this channel. It is not given to you as something from a personal directiveness. It comes from a divine direction. It comes also from the energy in this room. The energy that is here. And it is beyond a personal agenda. It is from the divine, which doesn't have such an agenda, but it does have an energy of urgency, not an emergency, but an urgency that you are at a time where your choices are important for yourself and for others. And when you choose lightness, when you choose that which is important in your heart, there's so many possibilities will open up for you. So many new pathways open up for you. Divine flow, divine healing, simply by sharing your truth, simply by no longer playing it small. The reason of the urgency is because these choices have an extremely big impact on yourself, your children, grandchildren, your friends, your family, everyone around you. Because sometimes they only need one word. They only need one gesture of love to change their life. To know that there's so much more beyond the surface. When you allow this message to do its work, doors will open, and you only need to walk through them. Nothing more is asked. No big effort. No battle. No needing to change others. They will change by themselves in their own time, but their process will be catalyzed by you in many ways, in big ways. If you feel that when you choose this path of light, deep emotions come up within you, then you know that you're on the right way. Because you are releasing them. You are bringing them to the light. This is the process. Perhaps you're taken out of your comfort zone. Perhaps you are taken out of that which you thought was reality. But it's not. Because there's so much beyond that. The message for you tonight is to share your truth. Even if you are healing, if you are releasing emotions, share your truth about that. Share that you're on a path of healing. There's no need to hold it all in. When you share your process, others will recognize your process, even if they are children. Of course, you're not putting your emotion on them, but you're sharing about your healing journey. You're sharing about your heart's truth. When you share this, it is like an energy that spreads out in all directions. When you share this, you start to let go of only looking at yourself from the outside in, which you're already going beyond. But the more you share, the more you go beyond it on a deeper level. Because perhaps it can be embarrassing to share about deep emotions that you are healing. Then know that this is not a sign of weakness. This is a sign of strength. A sign of deep strength. Because the sword of Archangel Michiel is not a sign of a violent sword. It's not even a physical sword. It's a sword of light, a sword of clarity. And this sword is also in your hands now. Not as a way to defend yourself against others, but as a way to cut through any nonsense of the mind that might come to you through your own thoughts or through others, things others tell you or have told you in the past. Allow the sword of light to cut through it, to make way for a vision of light. Because when you see through it, you see your divine purpose. You see your path of light. To use this sword, breathe in light at this moment. Take a deep breath and allow the light to reach those areas within your body where the light is needed. If you have a physical problem in any organ in your body, in any muscle or bone or another part of your body, when you breathe the light, allow it to go there. Allow the light to do its work effortlessly. You only need to have the intention. If you want, you can visualize it as well to make the effect stronger. Allow this collective healing to take place now through your breath. Breathe in as far as you can and feel the light particles that are within the air flow into your whole body. Flow into all of your cells to activate them with light and healing. To take away anything that holds you back from sharing your truth. To take away that shame. To give it up to the light, to God, if you will, on an out breath. When you breathe in light. When you breathe out everything that you no longer need, that is no longer useful in the new paradigm that you are stepping into. Allow this process to happen on every breath. Allow this deep healing on every breath. Because every particle of air is a particle of light. And when you breathe out what you no longer need, there are many beings of light around you that take this energy to the light. They are happy to take it from you. Perhaps they are angels Perhaps they are ascended ones. Perhaps they are Lemurian, Pleiadian. There are many guides around each one of you, and each one has unique frequencies, has a unique combination of guides that lead you on your path of light. When you are alone in your own meditation, you can also use this process very simply by focusing on your breath and knowing that the angels are around you, asking them to take you through this process again and again, anytime that you might need it. Even if you have 5 minutes for yourself during the day, you can do this process. You can repeat it, and each time the light will activate every cell in your body more, will bring in healing to organs, muscles, bones, tissues more, wherever it's needed. This is natural healing. It doesn't replace a doctor, but it complements it. It can bring in a holistic aspect to your healing process. Any physical ailment is also linked to an emotional issue, or a spiritual issue, or a soul scar. When you know this, and you breathe, then you know that any resistance or unwillingness is not a problem. It's not an unwillingness from your heart, but it's an emotion that comes up to be healed, to be cleared. Because there's such a big connection with your vessel, between the different levels, between physical, emotional, mental, spiritual. This is why some teachings tell you to think positive, and this can indeed be beneficial. Moreover, even better, think light, feel light. Because light always brings in a positivity. Even if it's used to heal the shadow, it brings in that positive aspect, that goodness, that healing, that is your natural state, that is what you are, that is what you are sharing, that is your truth. Allow it to come in now. And just think about how you would feel if you would share your heart message with others. It could be about angels, it could be about creativity, about art, about that which makes your heart sing. How would you like to speak passionately about it with others? Visualize it and see how you feel. Does it bring up a shame? Does it bring up a reluctancy? And then breathe through that, because it also brings up the fire within your heart, the truth within your heart, your true self. See it before you. Take 2 random people that you see in daily life that are not into spirituality, and imagine sharing with them from your heart even doing this exercise already brings in healing for them without saying anything. Allow yourself to focus on this for a moment and to see how you feel about that. Because this is something that could be important in your divine purpose. In these times, your divine purpose is no longer to withdraw from society. You might have done that in a past life. But in the new paradigm, it is about sharing with others. So imagine that, visualize it, and see how you feel. See how you feel in your heart. See how you feel in your belly. You feel nervous? Everything is okay, it's embraced. I am not saying that you need to force yourself in an actual situation to do this. Because this message is about finding your natural, spontaneous flow. Your natural heart flow. This is about clearing any feelings that might be in the way of that sharing. And when you do that exercise, what are you sharing? What is it that you are sharing with these others that are not into spiritual matters? What is it that you are sharing that is making your heart sing if you want to tell them about? Feel in yourself what this is. This joyous message from your heart. What are you telling them? Maybe you are just saying there is another possibility from the way you're living now. It doesn't need to be complex. It could be very simple. I went to an interesting evening the other day, and this is what I received from that. Very simple. I'm not telling you to go into a complex effort, a difficult mission. No, it's your divine purpose. It is born in simplicity and shared in simplicity. If you could think of one word, what would be this simplicity for you, this message, this sharing? If it was only one word, what would you share? Allow it to come to you and to be with you. And when you feel that word, repeat it on an inner level. To let it work inside. Let it do its work. That word. Let it do its work and its healing. Because it's from you. What others tell you, even in this message, comes from the outside to open these doors on the inner level. And then what comes from you, that has the true power in sharing and giving and healing the world. I am Archangel Michiel. I share with you these messages of love, of healing. Not to tell you what to do, but to give you inspiration. Not to push you, but to connect you with the fire in your own heart. I love you all dearly and thank you for receiving these messages. So just take a deep breath and I'll just say a few things, practical as well, because I'm going to work with the card deck after the break, which is the Lemurian Star Child Oracle, which Leanne and I are designing. And you're all invited to draw a card during the break as well. And yeah, we do need them back at the end of the evening. So please think about that. Yeah, but yeah, we're gonna work with this energy, and this is the energy from Lemuria and the Pleiades. Lemuria, ancient civilization, which is like Eden, which is very gentle and oceanic, and the Pleiades, which is very cosmic, kind of off-planet support. So we're going to work with both of these energy from higher dimensions. On the table is some art from Leanne and from me. Do have a look if you like, and the prints are for sale as well if you're interested to buy any of them. I've got there's a paper over there. You can write down your email address if you want to be kept up to date for about my work. So that's another important thing. And yeah, I just want to say this now. Actually, we're gonna have an amazing day workshop on Saturday as well, and all the information is on the flyers. So do have a look at the flyers, and yeah, we don't need the flyers back. You can take them one home if you like. I don't know if we've got enough for everyone, but maybe some people could share. Yeah, so I mean, we're going to do some questions as well after the break. I just want to know if there are any sort of burning important questions right now that, about what I've said so far and about the channeling has come through. If there's anything that you'd like to know now, then you're welcome to ask.
Yeah, I was going to say, how many people have you managed to sort of develop that skill of like channeling?
Yeah, well, like I said, I did a lot of clearing,
Yeah.
and a lot of kind of tuning to my heart and expanding my consciousness, and that freed up some space. I needed to let go of all the traditional teachings, and I went through a phase of illness as well for about 3 to 5 years of chronic fatigue, and after that I moved to England, to Glastonbury, and Glastonbury is a vortex of energy. It's a very, very sacred place, and I'm amazed it's not overrun by people because it's such a special energy, So that's where at some point I started to draw symbols, a bit like this, symbols, especially the ones in the corners, and they are light language. So they are cosmic language that came through my hands, and that was the start of a connection, of like a multi-dimensional connection. And then I started to sing these tones and sounds as well. They started to come through, and they were multi-dimensional. So what these things were doing was like they were like opening, my multi-dimensional mind, because the way we learn to think in school is linear. A to B, 1 plus 1. This is right, this is wrong, right? It's very linear. Now, multidimensional means 1 and 1 can be 3. Right? It's very strange to the linear mind. You know? Yeah, can't comprehend.
I don't get it.
No.
We limit our minds so much.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's maths. You know, the teacher
Yeah,
says
that's
1 plus 1 is 2, right? So that's the one and only truth. Right? Nothing else is possible, because then you're wrong. Well, that shuts you off from a whole lot of possibilities. Yeah. So that's opening the multi-dimensional mind. And when that happened, you know, at some point I was listening to other channelings and something activated in me. And so the words started to come. And it's a deep process because, you know, when you channel, it's a tricky thing not to involve your inner child and kind of just validate all your emotional needs. So, yeah, so it's a deep process. Yeah, so that's what happened, you know. I've been in Glastonbury on and off for about 4 years now, and I'm really, yeah, I like to call it home, actually. Yeah, I feel more at home there than in Holland. So, just because I meet other people that are healers, for example.
Like-minded.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Any other questions about what we've done so
You
far?
say that the Pleiades are planets, is
Mhm.
that right? And
Yeah.
they're beaming cosmic energy. So are they beaming cosmic energy everywhere, or just to Earth, or just?
Yeah.
I'm having
Yeah.
it difficult to understand that.
Yeah. The thing is, like, when we call them in, we
Right.
create a gateway so that they can bring in the energy.
So what are they, light beings?
Yeah,
on
they're a bit
the
like
planets?
angels or ascended beings.
Right.
And I connect with them, for example, telepathically. Okay, so they are around us, just like angels, just like ascended beings. And when we ask them to bring in healing, it comes in. Because to bring their healing to Earth or to any planet, they need people to attune to them.
And when you attune to them, is it a different feeling from an angel vibration then? How do you know
Yeah.
the difference?
The angels are very holding, very loving, and very reassuring, very gentle. And the Pleiadians are a bit like humans, and they are very high vibrational, very direct, very light, and they will raise your vibration very quickly. And their message is, you know, that through bringing in a higher frequency, you know, they heal the earth. You know, like one of the reasons that many people don't know about off-planet beings is that because it's kind of suppressed, you know, then the energy can't come in. Because when people start to call them in, it's like a huge energy of love is able to come to Earth. So we need to know about that. We need to know about that energy and that love that is available and that has a huge potential. You know, everyone who calls in the Pleiades becomes part of like a network of light that heals the planet. So it's a very big kind of project, but they need us to know about them, to call them in. Yeah.
One final question. You
Yeah.
said you were from another planet.
Yeah,
Do you know what
Pleiades.
that's like? Oh, the Pleiades.
Yeah. I mean, I have other memories, but Pleiades stands out in a way. Like very much in the foreground at the moment. And we all have, we are all multidimensional. So some people connect to angels, some connect to nature beings, they connect to ascended beings. We're not just in one place, so it's like, it's for everyone, you know, and by receiving these messages, you start to open that multidimensional mind that shows you that we're not just like 3D, but there are many places at the same time, and you start to receive information from those places that are really beneficial for your existence on Earth as well, and to follow your path.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Orion.
Yeah.
What's your opinion of the Orion, the energies? Because it draws me. It
Sorry?
wakes me up. Orion seems to wake me up when it's in my vision.
Ah,
in my
right.
house. No matter what time of night it is, whether it's 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, it wakes me up.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just sort of feel that I've got some sort of affinity with Orion.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to come tonight.
It feels like you're receiving light from definitely you're connecting to certain guides, because often people wake up in the night because the night is very clear. People are asleep, so there's less clutter in terms of thoughts that are hanging around in the air. So that night time is like the time where your crown can open more easily, and your crown is where you receive that cosmic energy. You know, a bit like a funnel or something. Comes in, and because that's what we need to kind of integrate that in our body. Like that's like in the meditation, breathe in that light. Yeah.
I read the book Blessings from the Stars a few years ago, and it was quite, you could sort of associate where the love is coming from the universe, from the star systems. And it's right.
Yeah. Thanks.
Do you specifically try and connect with the Palladians or the Lemurians or whoever, or do they just come to you? Is it a conscious?
Well, when I do channeling, it's a very specific choice.
Oh right, and you can, like Archangel Michael just come through you then?
Yeah, that's a choice. I could say yes or no.
Oh right.
Okay, but I could do it any time as well. I could bring it in any time, right? But it's not like it just comes through, and I've got some control over it in a way. Not over the message, but bringing it through, right? When it comes.
Yeah.
And it can be, you might find that guides come to you at times to give you a message, and that's beautiful. And it might be something unexpected or something about the next step on your path. And at the same time, if you feel you have a question in life, for example, you can also go to your guides. So it can go both ways. Yeah. Should we have our
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Lovely.
So I'll spread the cards out on the table, and whoever wants to, join in this can draw one card, and then we'll play with that a bit.
Lovely, thank you. I'll just say they're happy to serve you at the bar, or there's a hot drink machine just outside the door, 50p, a hot drink, or there's a water drink machine outside.